For years, I didn't understand delay. I'd add it to vocals, hear the obvious echo, and think, this doesn't sound professional. And in fact, the more audible your delays are, the more 80s your song starts to sound. So in modern pop vocal mixing, why do I still use 4 delays? I'm Kimera, by the way, vocal producer, songwriter, and plugin developer. If you're new here, I share weekly vocal production and plugin tutorials, so hit subscribe so you don't miss any of them.
I wish you'd love me more. Yeah. But the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed. But then once you are, that's when I say next.
Today, I'm breaking down the 4 delay technique professional producers use to make vocals feel full and dimensional. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to layer delays the modern mainstream way to give your vocals tasteful presence. Delay is just as essential as reverb for professional vocal mixes, but no one talks about it. And fun fact, reverb is actually delay. It's just many delays blended and spread to create that beautiful, lush space in our mix. I don't want you to think about delay like a special effect. Think of it like a foundational tool to establish the dimension of the space your mix is creating. The technique is to use 4 delays at different note values. Usually I do a half note, a quarter note, an eighth note, a 16th note, and I used to put each delay on its own auxiliary track and control them by a send fader. But I never liked that I had to have 4 tracks just for delay. So as the creator of Kimera Audio, I had to build Poly Delay, which employs this 4 delay technique in one plugin instance. Okay, so other than just the note values, which are here, these are the 4 separate delays. Your other settings to play with are feedback, which is the left knob. And you can see down the bottom what percentage of feedback we're getting. Yeah, this is like how many times the vocal is going to echo until it fully dissipates and disappears. And this is your level for each individual delay. Instead of controlling each delay with a send fader, we're going to control it right inside the plugin. Another funny thing I used to do with my delays is I would always put a little EQ after the delay just to shape the sound of the delay, which is why I thought it'd be a great idea to add an EQ right inside the delay. So you can make it brighter, keep it neutral, or make it darker. I'll play what that sounds like in just a sec. If you are using poly delay, I actually programmed the factory default to how I like it. But if I were to start from scratch, here's how I would set my delays. I would dial them in one at a time, and I'd probably start with my longest note. So let's set all these other ones to off and just listen to the half note only. And there's this toggle underneath the note value that will change the delay mode. Standard is your basic, like stereo, kind of center-ish repeating delay. Then we have alternating mode, so that's going to go from the left to the right. And then we have offset mode. This is my favorite. So what offset mode does is it gives it a really cool stereo experience. The first delay you hear is going to be in one of your ears instantly, and then the second delay on the other side is still going to be doing a half note or whatever note value, but it's going to start a little bit later. It's going to start half of the value that it's set to. So for the half note, the right ear is going to start a quarter note later, and then they'll both be going at half notes. Creates a really cool dimension. Let's just listen to the lead only. And since we're controlling the level within the plugin, I put my send fader kind of modest, kind of high, and I'll just be focusing on the level inside here, and then I'll tweak the feedback, and maybe I'll even adjust the tone a little bit. So let's listen.
I wish you'd love me more. But the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed. But then once you are, that's when I say next.
So, well, when I stop the instrumental, you really hear it. But when the instrumental is playing, that's how you should make your decision on your levels. I'm basically listening for when I can't really hear it anymore. And that's kind of around where I set it. I might just turn it up slightly.
I wish you'd love me more. But the more you love me, the more I get bored.
That's it. That's the spot for me. And just for fun, let's see if we want to change the tone. I'm going to mute the instrumental.
I wish you'd love me more. But the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed. But then once you are, that's when I say next.
I kind of like it a little bit dark, but I might even set some of my other delays brighter, so that might even create more dimension, which I love. So let's go ahead and work on our quarter note.
I wish you'd love me more. I get bored. I wish you were obsessed, but then you're too odd, that's when I say yes. I wish you'd love me more, but the more you love me, the more I get bored.
Wow, kind of liking that. Let's just make this one brighter for fun and then work on our 8th note.
I wish you'd love me more, but the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed, but then you're too odd, that's when I say yes.
I could hear at first there wasn't a lot of feedback on that 8th note, so it was kind of just like hitting it 2 or 3 times and then it was gone. So I'm probably going to want my feedbacks to be kind of high and then probably take my levels down a bit.
I wish you'd love me more, but the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you would.
I like that. Okay, last one is our 16th note. I already know I don't really like the 16th note as much. It's going to be a quieter in the mix for sure.
I wish you'd.
Right? Okay. So let's definitely dial this back.
I wish you'd love me more, but the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you.
Perfect. I actually can tell now that I've added the shorter delays that my longer delays feel too loud.
I wish you'd love me more, but the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed, but then.
We could sit here and tweak for days, but I'm pretty happy with that. By the way, this is just like a global mix. If you were to have this on an individual track, which I don't recommend, I still like to use the send fader. Maybe you'll turn this down, but for a send fader, I keep the mix all the way up and control the overall from here. You barely hear it in the mix, but when I press stop, you're like, oh wow, yeah, there's a lot of delay going on. All right, so just so you hear the difference, let's A/B test it. I'm gonna turn the delay off completely, play a little bit, and then turn it on and see if you can hear the difference.
I wish you'd love me more, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed, but then you're too odd, that's when I say yes.
Hear the difference? Okay, it is kind of weird without reverb, so I'm just gonna add in my lush verb, and this is how I create a nice full sounding vocal.
I wish you'd love me more, yeah, yeah, yeah. But the more you love me, the more I get bored. I wish you were obsessed, but then you're too odd, that's when I say yes.
Nice. It's so subtle, but it makes all the difference. Check out the free trial of Poly Delay and Lush Verb. The link is in the description below. All you have to do is download the installer, plug it into an insert on your DAW, and you can activate a trial right there. Make sure you subscribe, and I think you'll like this playlist where I run my vocals through all kinds of different effects plugins. I'll see you over there.